Yes. Best music ever.
I was looking for a comment to stop dancing. I was like, maybe I better just stop dancing now.
That's right. That's right. That's awesome. I'm so glad that we found the little disclaimer so we could throw that one back up there because let's be honest, that one's really, that's the Indie Invasion.
That's right.
Stumbled upon it theme song. I wish we could find the dude. I would pay him to use it. I would straight up pay him because I love it, but we can't find him. And for those of out there watching in YouTube land, if you know how, we went to his website and everything, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
It was in Polish or something. We did the auto translate and clicked on the submit and all that stuff, and it just didn't work. We couldn't get it to work. Anyway, I guess it's kind of a sad day because this is going to be the last episode of Wednesday Night Shorts.
Of Wednesday night. See that big pause?
You see what I did there? You see what I did there? I was just kind of trying to build a little tension there. But that's because we're just moving to Thursday for shorts. That's all. Just so we can post more content and more stuff in all the different places that we have it. So we do it here on via StreamYard, throw it out there on Twitch and Facebook. But we also have the YouTube channel, which some of you guys are watching on the YouTubes. So you can check that out as well. And of course, our podcast. Go check out our podcast. We have what did we just say? We just looked at it. 216 episodes of different stuff. Some of it.
A lot of content on there for you guys to listen to.
A lot of content, a lot of game content, we put all of the shorts up on the podcast. So we have all that stuff. And hey, look, it's Spaz. Hey, you hoser, take off. One of my favorite movies, Strange Brew, man.
Yeah, so next week we are kind of changing up our schedule a little bit, guys. Thursday is going to be the new day for the streams. Nothing's changing. Same old, just the day is changing.
Yep.
Same time frame. And then, like we've said in previous streams, basically, this is just so we have a little more, I guess, order schedule. So we have, we're spreading out our schedule so we can work on other stuff to release beginning of the week and then at the end of the week.
You betcha.
So more content basically is
more content.
We're rearranging stuff so we can create more content throughout the week instead of, oh my God, it's Friday, I got to get all this stuff out.
Right, exactly. So, look, Spaz is ratting me out from Discord. Says, I'm almost ready to play Monpok.
I still have all my old ones.
Well, he keeps posting pictures of the models.
He's trying to hook both of us, I think.
Now, Spaz, those are unpainted, right? You're painting those, or are the new ones painted? Because I know...
New ones are resin, actually, I think.
New ones are resin? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because they look really good, and I've been looking at it. And actually, a very long time ago, I looked into it. I was kind of looking for a game I could play with the kids at the time. I found a couple of other smaller ones that played a lot faster. Things like Epic Monster Tea Party and Chupacabra, Zombie Dice, just things like that play super fast that kind of hold their attention pretty easily. So that was when I was researching it, and then Spaz keeps posting pictures of it. So if you go to the Discord, Eric, you will see that I tagged you and said you should buy it to teach me how to play.
Well, I have it. I have the 2 cores.
But you don't have the new one.
Yeah, I got that. I got the new one too.
Of course you do. Of course you have the new one. Naturally.
It's one of those, when it first came out and released at Gen Con, I bought everything they had. They had the 2 starters with the monster, and then like a lot of the little units you get in blister packs. And yeah, I got it. And I don't know if it was, I just didn't have time, or I kind of looked at it and was like, wow, this is a lot more work than opening the old stuff. The little booster boxes, but
Look, see, Mike had my
Mike's throwing me under the bus.
That's right. My Marvel Crisis Protocol. That's all we see you posting in Discord is pictures of Crisis Protocol. Look at you.
This is about all I've been working on this week. Is like the scenery from it. I painted up my garbage dumpsters. They're over there next to the little building. Painting a green dumpster and a blue dumpster.
There you go. And I've actually been getting some painting done the past few days. I've gotten, about 8 or 9 minis done in the past few days. So that was a pleasant change for me. I haven't painted anything in a while to sit down to paint. So that was good to do that. But we're almost 10 minutes in already. We got a few people watching. Hopefully some more people will join in.
30 minutes in gaming, right? We should probably get to it tonight.
That's right. That's right.
And tonight, I think it's kind of going to be a fun one, right, Mac? Well, it'll be fun for us and the viewers.
I willingly offered up myself to be thrown under the bus. So,
yes, he did. And this is kind of something that's come up a couple times. Basically, this is going to be, should Mac get a resin printer? So
I'm going to start. The comments just light up with yes. No explanation, no helpful hints, just yes.
Question here. Mac, do you have a 3D printer?
I do have a 3D printer. I have an FDM printer. I've got an Ender 3 Pro.
Okay.
And it does terrain pretty well. I've backed a couple of Kickstarters from a guy named Evan Carruthers, and he primarily does stuff for RPGs, or at least he used to do mostly RPG stuff. And if you want to talk about a good deal, his Kickstarters were usually around 35, 40 bucks. You would get 70 or 80 pieces of terrain.
Yeah, some of those Kickstarters for 3D, the files are like incredible.
Yeah, and you would get a ton of minis. Well, I tried to print a few of the minis, and they just on an FDM printer. I know there are some guys out there that have just gotten their FDM printers dialed in so well that they can do it. Listen, I'm lucky if I can get mine to print a barrel without under extruding. Okay. My buddy Alan from Discover Games is going to have to come. He's coming next week. He's going to have to come check out my printer because I can't get the thing to work. But anyway, he had a bunch of models, and I've tried to print them, and some of them are really cool. He's got some really cool Walrus Men Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where can you find a Walrus Man Warrior? And I was going to use those in Ragnarok, but they came out awful on the FDM printer. So yes, I do have. But I have shelves full of terrain that I've printed. I got this. This is probably my favorite thing, and I print these regularly on my.
That's cool.
Printer. Yeah, I like these. These are super cool. I have a bunch of these on my twisted table.
So the other question is, do you want a 3D resin printer, and why?
Do I want one?
I mean, you kind of hinted towards
a loaded question.
Good reasons why, but
that is a loaded question. So, yes,
and yes,
yes, with maybe a caveat to that. The caveat being, oh, there you go. Spaz got it. Ding, ding, ding. Mac mentioned twisted. I think the caveat is that I already have so many models not painted. Right now, I have a guy that helps me out. He's a commission painter, and I pay him. He does all of Alan's work at Discover Games, and I pay him. And are you watching our podcast?
I don't know what that was. I was trying to do this.
Oh, you're trying to get a ding ding. There you go. So he does that. So he gives me a it's a good price, and he's a good painter. So I have him paint a bunch of stuff for me. I don't have a schedule for him because a lot of the times I have to get stuff ready for conventions to get stuff on the table. So it's not like I just don't want to paint them. And I keep the ones that I really want to paint here so that I can do them. But I'm afraid that my pile of opportunity, because it's not a pile of shame to me because I love my models, but I'm afraid my pile of opportunity may well become a pile of shame if I get a resin printer.
Oh, no.
I can just see this mountain of resin models, and people are like, what is that? Like, oh, those are my miniatures. I can just see it.
So basically tonight, you guys that are tuning in, and you can comment below on the YouTubes once if you watched it on there, is you guys get to help me get Mac hooked, right? So tonight we're going to be exploring why someone, Mac, should get a 3D resin printer. And we're going to explore some of those things behind that. I mean, there's probably some of you out there that have been on the fence. I'm on the fence. I don't have any 3D printers, and it's something I've been curious for a long time about. So we thought we'd kind of dive into that a little bit. Kind of, you're kind of the kickstart for this, though.
I'll tell you one of the reasons it's a good thing and a bad thing of why I want to get one is some companies are getting away from metal and going to resin. Now, I prefer metal. That's my favorite medium to work in. Not for conversions, obviously, but it's my favorite medium to work in is metal models. But so many of them are going to resin that in order to save money, they're not even producing the models.
Yeah.
It's just they want to sell you an STL file. I was watching a video from Obscurities in Miniatures the other day. I love that channel because he's like us. He finds these models that you just go, where in the world did that come from? That's so weird.
That boy, Josh.
Thanks, Josh. Just checked in just to say buy a resin printer. But over for Obscurities and Miniatures, there was this. It would have been, and it's perfect for the Drowned Earth. It's not a Triceratops. It's one of the other 47 dinosaurs that looks like a Triceratops, but he's all loaded down with baggage and stuff like he's a pack animal. I said, oh man, that's so cool. So I clicked on the link that he had up there, and it took me to a place where for $5 I could buy the STL file. I was like, so I couldn't just buy the miniature. So that was, yeah.
So here's a good question that we can jump right into. So Big Mike's asking, he knows a little bit about 3D printers, but he wants to know what the difference is.
Well, I mean, I'm certainly no authority on it, but
some of it's the medium, right?
Yeah, it's mostly the medium. Most of the, as I understand it, let me just preface it with that. Most of the FDM printers people are printing in PLA, and so it's basically plastic. You're making plastic stuff. And versus the resin, which is just like I don't have a resin model on my desk, but you're printing a model in resin, so the detail is way higher. You can get excellent detail, and you can print a miniature. Yeah, Tim said he wishes got a PLA and wishes he had a resin. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would use my resin printer for terrain. Because as long as I'm willing to wait the extra time, if I print a piece of terrain at superior quality on my FDM printer, and then once you paint it, just one coat of primer on it covers up a lot of the lines. So, because I've printed a bunch of terrain and big pieces too, and I don't think I would want to print big terrain pieces on a resin printer. But yeah, so Tim piped up on that one for sure. The PLA is great for it really is. It's good for terrain and it's very durable. But it's terrible for minis. But again, like I said, Danny, the 3D printer, he has a YouTube channel. Go check his out. I've watched his videos and I just can't get the stuff dialed in like he does. But he prints stuff on his PLA printer, and it looks amazing.
Okay.
So it's beyond my skill set.
Let's explore some of the positives of why you should get one, right?
Yeah. Yes. Why should we start a GoFundMe page?
So we already mentioned that. One of the cool things about is that when you do these Kickstarters or maybe another company, you can buy these STL files, and sometimes there's a lot of places that you can just get them for free because they're just like open market. Maybe somebody designed it and you just need to download the file, and then you can go print your old minis, at whatever sizes you want, as many as you want. I've known some guys that have printed scatter terrain from these websites, and it's a I don't know if it's a cost saving thing, but it's kind of a hassle saving thing. You don't have to order it, you don't have to wait for it, and you can so you can do some terrain pieces, but like you said, it depends, I guess, time frame and if you care what it looks like, type of thing.
And that's the thing. And I don't know if Josh is still on here, but if I remember correctly, last time we chatted, he has a resin printer, and I don't know what printing time is. You know what I mean? So for a model per se, for instance, I know that Josh, he's at Zombie Smith Miniatures. If you're on his Patreon, you have access to some of those STL files that he makes.
Yeah, he's designing those. That's the other perk is if you have the right software, you can design your own.
Exactly. Again, that's going to be way above my pay grade. Not that I couldn't figure it out, but I don't have any interest in doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't have any interest in it, but I do have interest.
I do.
Yeah. See, there we go. But I do have interest in printing models because since I do so much narrative playing when I play, a lot of the times I'm creating extra characters for my games.
Yeah, original stuff.
Right. And then I go out and I'm looking at Happy Games Factory. I'm looking at Olmec Games. I'm looking on Reaper. I'm looking everywhere trying to find something that fits whatever I have in my mind. So real quick, Mike said, what's the cost for materials between the two of them? And I don't know, but Tim piped in on that. He said resin is more expensive, but printers is fairly equivalent.
Now, and I did do a little research quickly, and we will get that towards the end of our talk. I figure we'll save that for the end. So just hold on, Mike.
We're talking about money yet.
So downsides, let's go over some of the downsides, I guess, is cost. I mean, regardless of it's money, right? And
you know what? I don't see that as a downside because just like Tim said,
they've come down a lot in the last couple of years.
I mean, $200.
Yeah,
$200, man. And most people that eat out regularly, that's less than a month eating out.
Man, how big do you think them people are?
Have you seen my family?
Well, there you go.
If I go to McDonald's at the dollar menu, it's $50.
Woo!
I got a lot of people in my family.
I mean, the other thing then you have to worry about too is chemicals, right? The thing with resin is you have that liquid photo, whatever the jargon is for it. That's the material you're basically printing with, and so you got to worry about cleanup and storage, and because it's kind of hazardous stuff.
So you're supposed to vent it or use it in a well ventilated area. Now I'm fortunate because my big gaming room back here, I've got windows. I can easily vent.
Yeah.
I've got lots of options for how I can do that. I mean, obviously nobody can see this, but from here down probably about 14 feet is just tables with all my Proxon stuff on it, saws and 3D printers and just a whole bunch of stuff over there.
Got a shop almost going on there. So yeah, I mean the liquid resin, the bottles are, I think from what I quickly saw, was about $30. And of course that's based on whatever size bottle you get.
Sure.
And then they come in different colors too, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, and I don't know that I would care about that. I presume that much like with my FDM printer, there's certain brands of PLA that I have less trouble with. Every once in a while, I'll try and get a cheap one again, and it's just probably the problem I'm having right now because I got an inexpensive spool, and I'm having problems with it, and I'm pretty sure it's the spool, not the way my printer is set up. Mike piped in and said, "Yeah, have you seen the price of going out to eat?" There you go. It's one weekend out right there for
kind of why I don't go out to eat.
Oh, look who joined us. Tyler did. Hello, sir. How are you? Oh, he had a little comment there. You appreciate the Indian invasion socks. Well, we may have manipulated that a little bit to send you a pair of socks. So there you go. You're welcome. We expect pictures in the coastal.
Yeah, we need some pictures in the Discord and Facebook and all those places. So another negative, I think, is printing times. Now, I don't know if this is different from the other printer, but you have long print times, and you know, before, and you got to let it cure, which may, require additional equipment to wash and cure it, before you can even get it to the, table to paint and then play.
Sure.
So, I mean, the other one has that time frame too. But you think about it, if you don't do it, Well, you're ordering it from somebody else, say from Etsy, and then you got to wait for them to basically have do all that and then send it to you. So
yeah,
that's one thing. I know some people don't have a problem with that, because I talk to some people that do the resin printer at home that they took the plunge and they say, oh yeah, I just set the file to go overnight, you know?
Yeah, and I think Tim was the one that said it. Yeah, Tim said it, that, and you're right, Tim, because I've seen a couple of guys that I know do unboxing on these. They're plug and play. You set them up on your my ender was plug and play. I had to assemble some of it, but once it was just the actual structure itself was assembled, I just plugged it in, downloaded the slicing software, and I was off. So yeah, they're super easy to get set up. That's for sure. And that's kind of what I've been excited about with getting the resin printer, is because I probably don't need a whole lot of convincing at this point, because my pile of opportunity is actually thinning out, because I have help with the guy Bob, who's doing some painting for me. He does them in batches of 12, and I never really realized how many that is in a drawer until I started counting them out. I'm sending another batch down to him this weekend. I was like, oh, okay. So I'll send him like 4 batches of 12.
Okay.
And he'll do one a month for me. And it really puts a big dent in how many I don't have painted. So I could easily add more that aren't painted to my collection. If I maybe had, I don't know.
That might be a downside right there. You're printing them quicker than you can do something with them.
Yeah, that would be a problem. And that's probably my greatest fear.
Yep.
But I'm also the kind of guy I'd print stuff for people.
Yeah. And that would be fun. That'd be fun to do for your buddies and stuff like that.
Oh, my RPG group? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And see, that's the other thing. You could go to Hero Forge, design your own mini, and then you're just paying, what is it, like $10 for the STL
I don't even
file?
think it was that much for the STL, because you looked for when we did Rooster McCoy. I think you looked at the STL cost, and I think it was like $8.
Been that much. Yeah, it might have been cheaper, and then you just download it, and then you got it forever.
That's right. And print as many of them as you want. That's just like that pack dinosaur that I was talking about. It was $5, but you could print 10 of them. Yeah. If you really want to paint 10 of them and put them on your table. So yeah.
So let's go a little bit in the short, quick research I did on pricing, and we're no experts in this. This is just what I found doing a Google search, which I recommend you guys, if you're interested, just spend a little time researching, see what reviews are, kind of read up about them, like what it takes to have one, for care, and what other products you need. But real quick, what I found, I just did a quick search, and there is a ton of them on Amazon, of all places, that you can click and probably have in 2 days, which is kind of cool. And you can go to, a lot of depending on the brand, you can go to their site and just order straight from the site. And a lot of times they have deals on those sites. So what is Tyler saying here?
Tyler, this comment right here may just make me buy the resin printer, but it would be conditional. So Tyler needs a Hero Forge mini with a prosthetic leg for Rumble Slam. Now, Tyler has a prosthetic leg, but we got to paint Indian Invasion socks on him, and I'll print him for you. Okay, I might just have to. I'm not buying it tonight. I know that's normally what happens when we start talking like this on the show, but I am not. Oh, that's so good. Finisher prosthetic leg drop from the top rope. Now, does he come off, or does he just drop his leg off? I need to know the specifics of the move. I gotta know. And Mike says, "Woohoo, Amazon!" Yeah. There's, I think, and I'm probably saying the name wrong, but what I've seen a lot of people getting is the Elegoo, I think is what it is.
Yep. And here, let me.
Table Salt Games. There you go. Table Salt Games, who did Battle Space. We did an interview with him a while back, and some coverage of his game, Solo Play Modern Warfare. he has an unboxing video. If you go check it out on the KieLoKaz Mars printer. So
okay. So yeah, just watch some reviews, see what other people are using out there. And this was just, I did a Google. I found this article, 10 best resin 3D printers. And the neat thing about this, so yeah, the one you just mentioned, you can go up here, click on this, and it's going to take you right to where it is. Amazon, bam, $200. You know,
that's not bad, man.
I could get that Tuesday.
You can get it Tuesday.
And the nice thing,
you could buy it, and you could ship it to me, and it would be here.
Yeah, and they give you all the stats about it, so you can read up on it. And what I like with Amazon is they always put frequently bought together. You know, so you can kind of get this other stuff if you want. You can click on the resin, the liquid resin, and read up about that and all the different ones. But yeah, I mean, it seems like a lot, and this is, I think, one of my issues when I first started looking at this. It's kind of overwhelming, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
But I think if you just read some reviews, ask around about stuff, watch videos, look at stuff like this that has these rating systems, and you can read about them, that will help a lot. I mean, this one.
Here's my greatest fear. This table that I have.
This one's a lot. Yeah.
Is I'm afraid I would just have like 6 of them lined up on the table down here, just running.
Well, I don't know if you'll have 6 of these ones, because this one's like on the higher end of cost.
No, not that one. No,
that's like $559.
No, not that one.
But I mean, it's rated okay, 9.5, 9.7.
Well, I'll have 6 of those when we get our podcast mansion.
And if we scroll down to some of the lower rated ones, which I'm not sure why they're rated lower. Maybe it's time, maybe it's the size of them type of thing. Could be price. But they even have on this list the different liquid resin that you would need. So, yeah, read up on that stuff. And like I said, it's kind of cool that you can just click on some of this stuff, and they have the hyperlink right to $20 for this material.
Let's all go buy one. We'll just
in the Invasion resin printing party.
Yes.
That'd be a good live stream, right?
That would be a really good live stream. We can all spill resin on ourselves as we're trying to figure out what we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be exciting.
But yeah, that was basically what I found very quick, where the KieLoKaz Mars 2 was 9.7, $200, and then the next one in the line was the Anycubic Photon. That was a 9.5, so a little bit lower, but yeah, that one was 560, so that's quite a bit of a range. But I think overall, from what I've seen, is a lot of them are about 200 would probably be right in the middle. And I think for the average person that wants to get something like this at home, that's a very reasonable price. You know, you're not looking to do make a business out of it. I mean, if you were, you would probably get one of the higher end ones that has better printing speeds and stuff like that. But like I said, you just got to keep in mind that you're going to need the material, and you may need like a washing station and the photo curing thingamabobber. I know some people that have gotten these have surpassed that and just, wash it in the sink, and then they stick it in the sun, and let the natural sun cure it.
The UV cure it. Yeah. So I don't know. And that's something that when I decide whether I'm buying one,
I'll probably be right after we get off the show.
You be quiet now. I'll look into all that stuff and play around with it. And we actually have some STL files, because when you got we purchased some Hero Forge ones for Twisted. There's some characters that we did for Twisted, so we would have some STL files to play around with. So
there you go. There's my generic bell.
That's the generic bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's fair.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm like you. If I had one, I could kind of see myself getting that pile, because you'd be like, "This is so cool! I want to print the world."
Oh, dude, look here! I'm telling you right now, if I get one, I'm sending you stuff, because you helped convince me. So I'm going to make sure you get behind too. I'll be like, "Oh, let me just send this to you, because I already have a big enough pile of resin that needs to be."
So is that the end of the talk tonight? Us and everybody chiming in, we convinced you to at least look into it more?
Look, I'll be honest with you. Before we started, I was already looking.
See, with me, I looked a long time ago when the prices were way up, when they were still
Right.
kind of new, and you had to, kind of almost special order them from the
Yep.
companies. But now it's like I go to Best Buy, I see them in there. You go on, well, you guys saw Amazon. Holy cow. It's just a couple clicks away.
Yep.
So, yeah, that may be on the Christmas list for myself, too.
Yeah.
I think I convinced myself tonight.
Look at that. That's what I like. That's what I like. So what do we need to do the next show of convincing Eric to move from the frigid north to where it's nice? Oh,
so
look.
I can wear flip-flops all day.
Spaz says there's a lot of cool buildings you can print for Monpok.
Man,
well, if my pile gets too big, I'll just have to print some and send them to you. Hey, look at there. We have a last-minute arrival. What's up, Axe?
Well, thank you for joining us. If you're just joining us now, be sure to check us, watch the rest of the show on YouTube or on Facebook.
Or, well, you can't watch it on Twitch. We don't have enough followers yet to keep our videos up there. We're working on it. Slow and steady wins the race, or not. Either way is fine. If we don't do it for the podcast mansion, that's just a fringe benefit.
So our next show will probably be hearing some of the printing in the background, is what we're saying here.
I don't know if you really can hear a resin printer.
Probably not.
I'm not sure you can.
So that's how much we know. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know what we're talking about anyway, so we'll figure it out though. All right, well, I think we're signing off here. Glad you enjoyed it, Tyler. More importantly, enjoy those socks.
Keep you warm down there in Savannah.
No, he's all the way down in Waycross.
Oh, he's even okay.
He's even farther away. So I believe it's your turn to take us out, sir.
My turn.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so for the last Wednesday night of Indiana, I have Gen Con on the brain, I guess. Indie Invasion Shorts. Thank you for joining us, and make sure you guys tune in next week on the 7th. We're going to be doing it on Thursday night, so hopefully some more of you guys, if you're watching after the live stream, can join in for the live stream. Yes. Other than that, you guys, if you want more audio, you can find us Indie Invasion audio stuff on Podbean, iTunes, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Stitcher, Spotify, Pocket Cast, all places that they have podcasts to put in your ears. And while you're at it, please visit us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Discord. Drop us a line at indieinvasion@gmail.com. We got a lot of stuff going on there and people posting so you can see. And right there is the Indie Invasion Discord address. We usually put those in the show notes so you guys can just click on it, go join in the conversation. Coming up, a good place to find all these links, listen to the show, and watch for news for CoastalCon is the website, coastaltext.com. It's coming up at the end of February. Well, actually mid-February. And we should be hearing news soon about next month about where, when, what kind of events, maybe vendors.
Yep, it'll all become, once the venue is secured, everything else starts coming into place. So
that's right. We got some pretty cool ideas for that.
Yes.
But other than that, what else we got? We got, hey, you can throw some money at us and support us at patreon.com Indie Invasion. But you know what? You don't have to throw money at us. You can go to Patreon and just enjoy the free content we have on there. And if you need a shirt to put on your body, because it's getting, actually, if you need a sweatshirt, it's starting to get chilly. You need a hoodie too. And a coffee cup to drink some cocoa in.
That's right, for some hot chocolate, and put on your warm Indie Invasion socks.
Go ahead and visit us at redbubble.com/people/Indie Invasion. And on a side note, a cool thing, this was a story I wanted to share tonight. My wife was perusing her internet and stuff, and she was looking at Pinterest. She was looking for recipes or something, and all of a sudden popped up an Indie Invasion ad for the hat, and she was like, what is this? And so she clicked on it, and sure enough, it went right to Redbubble. So she could have bought a hat,
but she didn't.
She didn't. She just takes mine.
Oh, that's all right.
But guys, that's it. Thank you for joining us on the live stream. We will talk to you next week, Thursday, So please join us on Thursday. I'm excited about it because I know some people said they can join on Thursday in the live stream. We really like having you guys interact with us on here and derail us from our talks. Right? So
definitely.
Until next time, guys, prepare yourself for the invasion.